I was on a bus coming home to New York when the World Trade Center attack happened. I was on the bus and all the cell phones went off on the bus and people started screaming and crying, and it was very unusual for that to happen, of course, on a bus, and everyone was saying that the World Trade Center was hit by an airplane. I tried to call home and I couldn't get through. When I finally got through to some friends, they told me it was real, and it was very, very upsetting. And then I was on my way to the Holland Tunnel, but we couldn't get through, and we had to turn around. And it took me at least 4 days to get back to Brooklyn Heights, where I live. When I finally got back to Brooklyn Heights, I couldn't wait to get home, and I finally got home into my apartment, and I looked in my backyard and my garden, and there were pieces of debris and paper and plastic that had come over from the explosion. Anyway, I ran down to the promenade. I wanted to take a look. The promenade overlooks New York skyline, and I wanted to go down there. As a young person, I watched them build the World Trade Center, and it was just horrifying for me to see that the buildings weren't there and all the loss of life. It was just terrible. It was a beautiful day that day, but it was a strange quietness on the promenade, and I was very sad to see all this happen and to experience this horrible tragedy. As I was standing on the promenade, a woman came on and who was dressed in sort of like a white tunic outfit and sandals, and it was she walked up to the promenade where the fence is and overlooking where the World Trade Center used to be. And there she stood, and she started doing these beautiful movements with her hands and her body, and I had my camera with me, so I started to record this. And as she was doing these movements, she put her hand straight up towards where the World Trade Center used to be, and it was almost as if it was very spiritual, honoring the people who died in the tragedy and honoring the wonderful buildings. It was a very sad moment for me, growing up in New York, being a New Yorker, and experiencing this and all the sadness of the city. And I'm hoping that someday that something good will come out of this horrible tragedy. Anyway, that's my story of what happened to me, and that was it.